Okay, we're here at a customer's property. We're going to do a pretty good clean out, no mowing involved. On this bed right here, we want to clear all of this out, not pull this stuff out, but we want to rake the leaves out and maybe do a little light trimming, kind of get it cleaned up. Any weeds we want to pull out, but definitely get the leaves. Now these right here, we do want to pull those out. Okay, we want to pull that out, get it close down to the ground as we can. Try to put some product on it to kill it but not harm the tree. The same thing is right here. We want to do the same thing with that guy. Get all the leaves pulled out and cleaned up. Now this flower bed over here, I don't know the name of this stuff, but she wants to pull all of this out, all down there. Pull all of it out through the ground. It comes up pretty easy. Just pull it out by the roots. All the way down there, do the same thing. We'll leave those, and we'll leave those little monkey things. And crepe myrtles we'll just trim right here, about eye level. That one and this one right here, eye level. That'll be it for that flower bed. Those flower beds over here, we're not gonna pull anything out. We're just gonna clean them out, any kind of leaves or weeds or anything like that. So let's take a look at the backyard. Backyard's got a lot more going on than the front. This job is basically a flower bed clean out, so like all the weeds here, not these guys, but those little clovers down there, clean all that out a little bit. Actually, we don't even have to do that. That's part of the lawn service, so we won't be doing that. Alright, so on this flower bed here, leave that there, but we'll clean out all of the weeds and the leaves. Now this stuff right here, from here all the way back here, we're going to pull all of that out of the ground. Okay, we're going to have to use a shovel. We're going to get down to the bulbs that are at the bottom. And that crepe myrtle we'll trim at fence height, and that little tree thing we'll leave there. This little tree thing we're going to dig up and put it right here. We're going to clean up this flower bed pretty good, get it down to fresh soil, and these are going to stay, but we're just going to clean up all that junk right there. Same thing here, those rose bushes will stay, but we're going to clean up all these weeds. With this soft soil, the garden rake is going to be your best tool. For those of you who don't know, the garden rake is the metal rake that's only about maybe 14-15 inches wide, and it's got little metal teeth on it. That's excellent to use for projects like this, because it'll get down in there with those teeth and it'll rake out. Makes it a lot easier instead of trying to pull these weeds and stuff out by hand. So we're going to get over here and we're going to clean all this out, and those gumballs and leaves. Now when we get to this stuff right here, we're going to pull all of that out. It runs along the ground, so there's a lot of it in this area here. We're going to pull all that out, but we have to leave some of the other things that stay in here. We'll leave all this, we'll just clear all that out, leave the foxtail, and get it all cleaned up. So we got a lot going on back here. It's pretty basic. So what we're going to be doing is basically clearing out the flower bed and getting it clean and ready for fresh mulch and fresh flowers. Now we don't know what flowers we want to use, because this backyard, we got to trim that crepe myrtle too. This backyard gets 2 to 3 hours of sunlight there, 2 to 3 hours of sunlight here, 2 to 3 hours of sunlight here, but not at the same time, at different times of the year and different times of the day. So they've tried all types of hibiscus and different flowers that bloom, but there's no luck. They'll grow, but they just won't really bloom because they're not getting enough of that sunlight. Sunlight is a key component. Sunlight and water is a key component for flowers in trees and bushes to grow and to bloom. 1 hour isn't enough. It's got to be several hours. Now, different species of plants and bushes and trees and whatever require different amounts, so all that, matters. But anyway, so after we get all that done, we get the flower beds cleaned out. We'll plant the flowers and then put the mulch in. That's how I like to do it. I want the mulch to be the last thing, because when I step off of that bed, I want it to be done. I don't like putting mulch and then flowers, because that makes a mess. you track it out, you disturb stuff. Once that's done, then we're going to put down a product called Pre-Em. It's a pre-emergent, has a small amount of fertilizer in it, or maybe it's called fertilizer Pre-Em. It says fertilizer with, it says Pre-Em with fertilizer, made by Lesco. Anyways, I think it's like 007 or something like that. Pre-Em is a fantastic product. I use it on a lot of my customers' flower beds. It's a granule you spread out with the hand spreader. Go heavy on it. And what it does is when it dissolves, it's like yellowish. It's the chemical, the active ingredient. And I can't think of the name. Anyways, so when it dissolves, it will go ahead and create a chemical barrier that you can't see. And then the weeds and the grass that try to grow up will hit that barrier and will die off. Now that you want to help that succeed by when you tell the customer, hey, we'll put this down, it's going to do about 98% of the work. It does phenomenal, which it does. But whenever you go out, just kind of take a peek in your flower bed. If you see one little guy poking up, just gently pull him up. Try not to disturb the ground, and if you got to cover it up a little bit, go ahead. When you do that, you're really increasing the chances of having a clean flower bed for a long time. I used the product the first time last year for a customer. I didn't charge them. We did fertilizer and flower bed stuff like middle of March. We didn't have any weeds or grass until late August, early September, whatever the month is after August. So that was fantastic. That was great. Anyways, guys, that's what we got going on. We're going to give an estimate on. We just walked it through with a customer. So if you guys have any questions about this estimate, let me know. I have no idea what numbers I'm going to hit them with. I may go home and think about things first and watch the video and see my notes and stuff. But I'm Kevin with Texas Veteran Power Outdoors. You guys have a great weekend. We'll see you soon.